Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host for the Morning Pointe Foundation Seniors Got Talent Chattanooga Showcase. On-air radio personality with Hits 96, Gino D.
Hello, hello. There we go. How are we? It's always technology nowadays. It's always technology that stops things. I promise that had nothing to do with any of our staff here tonight. We are fantastic, all right? Let's get this show on the road. Thank you all for joining us tonight at the beautiful Silverdale Center Creekside Theater. Let's hear it for the theater and their staff. As stated, my name is Gino D, and I'm a Hits 96 radio personality. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 on 96.5 on your FM dial. I am thrilled to be here this evening for the 5th annual Morning Pointe Foundation Seniors Got Talent Chattanooga Showcase. I am privileged and excited to be emceeing the show for the very first time. It's my first time here in this theater. It's absolutely beautiful, so thank you to Morning Pointe for having us. You guys are in for an absolute treat this evening. I've been backstage, I've talked to some of the talent, there's been lots of excitement, a little bit of nervousness, people are a little bit anxious, but it's a good anxious. We're excited for these performers. So let's hear it. Big round of applause for everybody tonight. We're giving away some top prizes. Third place is going to walk away with $250. Second place will win $500. And of course, the big grand prize, $1,000, and the title of the winner of 2024 Morning Pointe Seniors Got Talent Chattanooga Showcase. This exciting annual senior talent competition not only celebrates active seniors, but it benefits the Morning Pointe Foundation and the work of providing nursing and clinical scholarships and caregiver support programs across East Tennessee. It's produced in partnership with Morning Pointe Assisted Living and Memory Care, along with countless sponsors. Tonight we want to recognize our diamond sponsor, Trinity Advisors, Russ Blakely and Associates, and silver sponsors, First Horizon Bank and Patient's Choice Laboratories, along with so many more returning and of course new sponsors. In fact, you can see them listed in your program and on the screens, right over there, you can see them. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our sponsors for this evening's event. Now, before we get to our first act, I would like to introduce Franklin Farrow, CEO and one of the co-founders of Morning Pointe Senior Living. Franklin will lead us in our invocation.
Thank you so much for being here. It's wonderful, and for those of you who had to brave the storms, we appreciate that as well. You know, at Morning Pointe each day, we get a variety of things going on, from good food in the morning to activities throughout the day, visitors coming and going, volunteers helping us enjoy part of the day, and also thanking God for all that He provides for us. So at this point in time, let's bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Lord, we do thank you for the bountiful gifts that you provide us. Yes, the rain that we desperately need, but also the applause and the fun and the sharing of time, talent, and treasures together this evening. We ask for each of the participants to have calm nerves and perform to their highest and best use, and we know that you are cheering them on just as we are. Thank you again for all your love and blessings. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce you to the other co-founder of Morning Pointe Senior Living, President Mr. Greg Vital. And I want to take a moment and recognize the Morning Pointe Foundation board members who work alongside Franklin and Greg, some of whom are here tonight. They are Treasurer Norma Cooper, board members Doug Brown, Debbie Ingram, and Donna Lawrence. Now, join me in welcoming Mr. Greg Vital.
Well, thank you for being here. What an opportunity to enjoy a wonderful evening out of the rain, because we had quite a thunderstorm earlier, didn't we? And I was a little worried at 6:30. I kept thinking, well, I hope the power doesn't go out because some of these folks are really going to have to perform at the top of their lungs. But as president of Morning Pointe Senior Living, I wear a couple different hats. I also get to be state representative of this area, and I couldn't miss an opportunity to remind people that there is an election this Thursday and one in November. And I am on the ballot. That's the end of that hat. But tonight, as president of Morning Pointe, it is such a privilege to welcome you all to Seniors Got Talent. This is one of the most fun nights we have in our company. Several years ago, Franklin and I were driving to visit one of our facilities, and I said, you know, sometimes I worry, Franklin, that our company has grown beyond senior care living. I said, sometimes I think we're a cruise ship on land because we have so much fun. And tonight is a partial reflection of the spirit of our seniors, but also it's a reflection of the spirit in our buildings. We have such wonderful activities going on and life enrichment programs, not only from the residents themselves, but visitors who come to our buildings and perform and participate. And so music and activities and humor all come together. And that's where this whole idea of Seniors Got Talent came from. Did you know that almost 15 years ago, this started just as a talent show over in Hickson, at our Morning Pointe facility in Hickson, Tennessee. And from there, it has now grown, and we have had it 5 years here in Chattanooga, but this is also one of several cities where we have Seniors Got Talent programs. We'll be doing one in Lexington, Kentucky, which is always so much fun up there in the Bluegrass State. We do it also in Franklin, Tennessee, serving Williamson County and our facilities over there in Franklin and Brentwood, and also in Knoxville. And it is so much fun in Knoxville because we make more noise than Neyland Stadium, trust me. But I do want to just say thank you again to all our sponsors. We appreciate your commitment to Morning Pointe and the Morning Pointe Foundation. The activities of the Morning Pointe Foundation, you'll hear a little bit more in a few minutes about that from Miranda Perez, our executive director. But locally, we have Morning Pointe scholars, not folks who just come to work at Morning Pointe, but who choose nursing and allied healthcare professions at both Cleveland State, Chattanooga State, and UTC. And so your dollars stay 100%, helping support caregiver potential and workforce development, and also caregiver programs that we have across the region. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your applause tonight of these participants. It takes a lot to get up here in your 50s and 60s, any of you, but also in your 80s and 90s. And so let's hear a lot of applause tonight, a lot of fun. Thank you all for being here. And let me introduce Miranda Perez, who operates our Morning Pointe Foundation day in and day out. It's an honor to have her working very diligently to these programs and also support our seniors in the communities where we do business. Thank you so much for being here.
Good evening, my name is Miranda, and it is such a pleasure to see so many people in this auditorium. It brings me so much joy, but I have to say though, this one makes me so nervous. The reason why is because I see friends, I see my board members, and I see my family, and they see the work that I put into this foundation, but they also see the benefits, because when you invest in the Morning Pointe Foundation, you are investing in yourself and everybody that you love. Because we invest in community colleges and also the local universities that are graduating and will work local. The world needs 13 million nurses. So while you're here tonight, you are a part of a solution in making a financial burden less for a college student who wants to be compassionate, be caring, and love for you and your family members. This past year, I know that I have personally been affected by nurses at a higher level than I have ever had in my life. And I wouldn't be here, and especially my heart, I would not be standing here without that care. So I want to personally thank you for investing in this foundation, because you are also making my quality of life better. With that being said, nurses are the backbones. Not only nurses, but also clinical, OT, PT, social work, and culinary. We need them all. And being here tonight, we are contributing to scholarships. Here in the Chattanooga area, we, like Greg has mentioned, we invest in UTC, we invest in Southern, Cleveland State, Chattanooga State, Dalton State, and also Tennessee Wesleyan, which has been added. The foundation is now 10 years old. And we have given, yes, 10 years old. Since its beginning, we have given out over 120 scholarships. That is impressive. And this year alone, we are hoping to give out we'll be around the 140 mark, and you being here today makes that dream come true. But not only are we making dreams come true for students, but we're also making seniors' dreams come true tonight. A lot of them have always wanted to be a star, and tonight they are. And I can tell you from the lineup, you are going to leave this auditorium feeling very inspired. You may cry, you may laugh, you may dance a little in your seat, and you're going to smile a lot. You are going to have the best evening that I can think of for this, probably one of the best evenings you'll ever have. And you might not remember my name when you leave here. You might not remember Greg or anybody else's name, but you will always remember how this event made you feel. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Morning Pointe Senior Living and Morning Pointe Foundation. And thank you for coming out tonight to support such an important cause while celebrating talented seniors across Chattanooga and North Georgia. You guys ready to get this show started? Oh, come on, we can do better than that. We have 12 amazing acts all lined up throughout this evening. The seniors range in age 60 to 93 years young. They are from across our region and include singers, pianists, dancers, a dulcimer player, also a magician, and 2 comedians. You are in for an exciting evening, and we want to give them as much energy as we can. So remember, they'll give you your energy. If you give it back, let's get real loud for our performance. Absolutely. To help get the show started, we want to introduce last year's winner, pianist Bonnie Hanna, age 83, sharing her winning performance of a patriotic medley. Let's hear it for Bonnie. Let's hear it for Bonnie Hanna, everyone! Hello, Bonnie. Congratulations on last year's winning of this contest. How has your whole experience been when it comes to the Seniors Got Talent competition?
Well, I was so shocked last year when I won. I was running around not knowing what I was doing, but I'm very proud and happy. And I put my plaque on my piano and I brag to all my friends when they come visit.
Fantastic. Let's hear it for Bonnie.
I've been a registered nurse for over 50 years of my working career. And I love that Morning Pointe Foundation contributes money to nursing scholarships. So thank you, Morning Pointe Foundation.
Absolutely. Let's hear it for Bonnie. One more question for you. Do you have any real quick advice for the contestants this evening? Any quick advice?
Well, try and relax, but you won't be able to because you know the judges are watching you. This year, I don't really care I hope they like me, but it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Let's hear it for Bonnie. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you. One more time. Round of applause for Bonnie Hanna. Before we get to our lineup, we have some exciting news about another winner of Morning Pointe Seniors Got Talent. This time our winner out of Knoxville, just last season, comedian Corky Miller. Turns out the 63-year-old just landed in the final audition round of America's Got Talent and absolutely rocked it. Did you guys see it? Unbelievable stuff. Corky Miller. She was hilarious. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. She was so funny, she got a pass from all 4 judges. That's 4 yeses. Yes, even Simon Cowell said yes. Woo! And we are more than happy to stay tuned and look forward to Corky's journey. It's incredible. And it's actually turned out that it was America's Got Talent showrunners that learned of Corky because of her performance at Morning Pointe Seniors Got Talent. So think about that. Because of this show, they were able to see and recognize talent and go to the national scale of America's Got Talent. That's fantastic. Round of applause. Who knows what will happen for our contestants this evening? We'll have to stay tuned and find out. Big stuff happening. It's now time to introduce our judges because, of course, we will be presenting awards tonight as mentioned, including the grand prize of $1,000. Our 12 acts will be judged on stage presence, technical ability, appearance, creativity, and crowd appeal. Also, you guys have a big hand in this as well for the People's Choice Award. That's where you get a say on who's going to be a winner this evening. You probably saw the voting table when you walked in. Every dollar is a vote towards your favorite act. And as you can see on your screens, the QR code will be everywhere. It's also in your program. It's a new way to cast your People's Choice vote through the 12 acts. Simply scan the code, pick your donation amount. Again, every dollar equals 1 vote. So obviously you want to do as much as you can. And all of that money going towards Morning Pointe Foundation. You select your contestant, you add in your info, a few simple steps. I know some of you, your eyes are glazing over saying I have to do this. I promise it's not that difficult. Real simple stuff. We will announce the People's Choice winner along with the top 3 winners at the end of the show. And again, you have that QR code on the sponsor slides as you see, and don't forget it's also in your program. All of the proceeds, once again, going to Morning Pointe Foundation. As the excitement continues to build, let's meet our judges, shall we? Let's hear it for them. Our first judge is Danielle Farrell. Danielle is a self-published author of Dancing for the King and a professional choreographer and dancer. She is the artistic director of Raw Art Dance and Entertainment Dance Academy in Southeast Tennessee, where she and her team focus on educating and enhancing young artists and excellence through the fine arts with the gospel at the center. She is currently signed to the Fresh Talent Agency in Nashville and has worked as a professional dancer and model on sets. This includes Cristal's commercial for Square Talk, John Party's heartache medication, and the Breland Chevy commercial, Don't Touch My Truck, and more. Let's welcome Danielle Farrell. Our second judge this evening is a good friend of mine, Josh Robinson, the executive producer of the Daily Refresh on News Channel 9. He grew up in Tennessee with his parents, 3 little sisters, and several dogs throughout the years. He attended Harding University, where he majored in broadcast journalism. Josh worked at WBBJ in Jackson, Tennessee as a co-anchor for Good Morning West Tennessee and was a multimedia journalist. After 3 years of very early mornings, he wanted to grow his skills behind the camera. So he worked for Bramlett Group, a PR and marketing firm, as a videographer and editor. Now Josh is excited to be part of the Daily Refresh team right here in Chattanooga. He wanted to come to Chattanooga because he heard all the amazing things about the outdoor activities. It's also closer to his family, and he really wanted to dig into stories that haven't been told yet, right here in East Tennessee. Let's hear it for Josh Robinson. Our third judge is Steve Darmody. Steve is an award-winning Christian recording artist who has been regarded as one of the outstanding voices in gospel music. His voice has been compared to Bing Crosby and Pat Boone, thus giving him the nickname, the milk chocolate voice of gospel music. He has recorded 8 CDs and has been featured internationally at stellar events and in some of the most celebrated venues like Carnegie Hall, the Washington Cathedral, the Warsaw Philharmonic, the Pentagon, and for the U.S. Senate. He's toured in all 50 states and in 48 different countries. He's appeared dozens of times on national Christian telecasts such as Trinity Broadcasting Network, 3ABN, Daystar, Crossroads, and many others. While serving as president of Morning Song Music for 40 years, Mr. Darmody has maintained a rigorous performance schedule until COVID moved him to a new career in real estate. Please welcome Mr. Steve Darmody. Our final judge is Susan Kamenez. Susan has been the executive director of the Chattanooga Symphony and Opera since March of 2023. She is a performer, inclusion advocate, and a transformational arts leader. Driven by the mission at hand, Susan believes the community is strengthened through arts engagement and the unifying power of music. Striving to make music accessible for all, Susan was awarded the Chattanooga Symphony and Opera first 4-year bid from the city for the Family Series, bringing storybooks to life through classical music and puppetry, and created the all-accessible concert, a full orchestra experience for patrons with disabilities. In addition to her advocacy and visionary management, she has directed and produced short films on adverse cultural friendships and PTSD, both of which were chosen to screen at various film festivals throughout the world. The latter won an Audience Choice Award. She has been coaching and has been coaching up-and-coming performers for quite some time, also directors at NYU, and enjoys storytelling and writing children's stories. She's an ADA coordinator, a Meisner graduate, a member of the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators. She holds a Bachelor of Fine Arts from the Hart School of Music and a Master's of Art from Columbia University in Arts Administration. Give a big hand to Susan Kamenez. Are you guys ready for the show? I want to give one big round of applause for our judges. I want everybody to thank you guys for being here tonight. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to be going to you for different types of little insights, since you're all so obviously very well experienced here in the fields. So we're going to be looking to you to ask and give us a little bit of insight into different things. So we'll be asking questions after each and every act to give a little bit of that. One more round of applause for our judges. One round of applause for yourselves. Time to get the show started. Don't forget, as you watch, you can make your selection for People's Choice Award. Just scan that QR code. It's in your programs. It's on the screens. $1 equals 1 vote, and that money goes directly to Morning Pointe Foundation. Kicking off our show tonight, 69-year-old singer, songwriter, and guitarist, Richard Daigle. Originally from New Orleans, Richard grew up with a father who played in bands in South Louisiana. Richard took up the guitar for himself at age 11. Lived in Atlanta for many years and played in church worship groups there, as well as some open mic nights and a few different gigs. His wife of 34 years passed away in 2014, and since then, music has taken on a new meaning as a form of self-therapy. Richard moved to Chattanooga in 2019 and has played many paid gigs. Most of Richard's career has been as a journalist, a writer, an editor, and he has written many original songs. He's produced 2 albums, a third coming out, called Gentle Man, Songs from a Healing Heart. Singing one of his original songs, I Still Say We, please welcome Richard Daigle.
Thank you, guys. It's really great to be here. As he mentioned, my wife died from cancer about 10 years ago, and over the years, I would have friends who would invite me to places, and I would find myself saying something that sounded very natural to say, but it really wasn't accurate. And as I thought about that, I wrote this song, a little story song, called I Still Say We. Barbecue and baked beans and Bud Light, Joe and Linda's place, Friday night. I told Joe we'll be there. Can't find the top for this Tupperware bowl. It takes two parts to make a whole. We'll be there. The man in the moon can only laugh when people look at him and see only half. I still say we when it's only me. A ragged note in the drawer, a pot roast recipe. Her handwriting is hard to read. We'll be there. So Friday night, I know where I'll be, even though 2 + 2 doesn't equal 3. We'll be there. The man in the moon can only laugh when people look at him and see only half. I still say we when it's only me. I still say we when it's only me. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it for Richard Daigle, everyone. I do want to mention there's been a slight change at the judging panel. Mr. Steve Darmody is not here, so we have Randall Farrell filling in for Steve. Randall won this competition 2 years ago, so let's hear it for Randall Farrell, everyone. In fact, Randall, since you are new to the panel so soon, and I know when you competed, you also did an original song, played guitar, much like Richard. What were your feelings on Richard's performance?
Well, obviously I like guitar players, and being a songwriter myself, it was great. The fact that it was just so touching from his life experience is what really music's about. Going from your heart and putting it on paper, and then being able to present it to people. So great job there.
Absolutely. And Danielle, what were your feelings on the performance?
So I was just waiting for the lights to go out and get a lighter because it was just so pure. I loved it. I thought he had such a natural posture on stage. And just to play the guitar and to sing an original song, that's a multi-talented gentleman. So congratulations on that.
Absolutely. That's what this competition is all about. So thank you to Richard Daigle, and thank you, judges, for your insights. Let's get into our second act of the evening. It's a singing and instrument duo, Betty Harris, 78, on the auto harp, and Marilyn Repon, 73, on the African bass. Betty has been singing since earliest childhood, but didn't take up any instruments until she was in her early 60s. However, her dad played the guitar, banjo, and harmonica, so she was around music her entire life. Marilyn, likewise, didn't start playing an instrument until she was in her late 50s. Her mom was a pianist. The two ladies are best friends and have been playing music together since 2010. They have played at the Tennessee Fall Homecoming for several years, as well as the Mountain Opry, Snow Hill Bluegrass, Ringgold Opry, and other locations in the area. While traveling, they have also performed in Florida. Both Betty and Marilyn have worked clerical jobs. Marilyn is still working. They say they love the attention of performing. Granted, that's why they're on stage, right? The music itself and the people they get to meet in the musical community. Performing 5 Pounds of Possum, please welcome Betty Harris and Marilyn Repond.
We are really glad to be here, and some of you all may be familiar with this song. It's a lovely song, and we'd like for you all to sing along with us. So when Marilyn sings, I would like for you all to sing. Well, my children are hungry and my dog ain't got a bone. I just lost my job and now I'm headed home just an hour after sundown. And much to my delight, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Now, oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I could run him over, everything would be alright. Possum grits, possum gravy, what a beautiful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Won't have to clean no chicken, won't have to open cans. Just a few more minutes and I'll have him in my hands. I think the time has come to change from dim to bright, 'cause there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Now, oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I could run him over, everything would be alright. Possum grits, possum gravy, what a beautiful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. One more time. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I could run him over, everything would be alright. Possum grits, possum gravy, what a beautiful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's hear it. Josh Robinson, I can only assume you have a new favorite song now.
I think that might be the new theme song for the Daily Refresh. I think we found it. I just have one question. 5 pounds of possum from one possum?
It's a big possum.
Okay, that's what I'm just making sure I'm doing the math right. Just making sure.
Susan, do you have any thoughts on the last performance?
Well, that's definitely original. I've never heard that song before. Beautiful. Loved it. I love their outfits especially.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into our third act for this evening. It's a ballroom dancing couple. You guys are in for an absolute treat. Richard and Laurie Collett. Richard is 76, Laurie is 71. Laurie's been dancing since the age of 8. She danced through high school and college and stopped dancing for a while because of an injury. However, when she met Richard, he asked her to dance, and she hasn't stopped since. Richard and Laurie are ballroom dance champions, performers, choreographers, and owners of Rhapsody Ballroom in Tampa, Florida. They performed all over the world, including the Netherlands, Russia, Japan, Hong Kong, and Italy, and have won multiple competitions. In 2014, they were featured performers for 2,000 people at the Ryman Auditorium, the original Grand Ole Opry, in Nashville. In season 7 of America's Got Talent, they were one of 300 acts selected from 150,000 auditions to perform for their celebrity judges. These talented performers are also working adults. Richard is retired from the U.S. Navy and is now a real estate manager. Laurie is a neurologist MD, retired from private practice in academic neurology at Cornell University and University of South Florida. She still writes continuing medical education activities for WebMD and Medscape. Although they live in Tampa, Richard and Laurie actually heard about this Seniors Got Talent show through Chattanooga friends and traveled all the way to come here and compete. Richard and Laurie Collett will be dancing to their adapted version of You'll Never Walk Alone from Carousel. Laurie is the vocalist on the song and adapted the lyrics, and the couple choreographed this routine themselves. Please welcome Richard and Laurie Collett.
When you walk through a storm, oh, 'tis nail-scarred hand, and don't be afraid in the night. At the end of the storms is the promised land, and the bright endless day of his life. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your faith be tossed and blown. Walk on, with Christ in your heart, and you'll never walk Jesus Christ died for us, and he rose once more to lead us to eternal light. Follow him as your guide, Master, Savior, Lord. All your ways he will make true and right. Trust him, have faith in his word, and his grace will lead you home. Trust him, have faith in his word, and you'll never walk
One more time for the Colletts, everyone. Danielle, I think I saw the look of amazement
Yes,
in
you
your
better talk to
face.
me.
I was going to say, I think
Because
this
that was
is
amazing.
one right up your alley, yeah.
First of all, Richard is strong. Okay? That kind of skill, I don't know how long they practiced, I'm sure it's hours, but they were so fluid and so in sync, and you can tell their chemistry, how they dance, they trust each other. For him to pick her up like that, you gotta have trust. So I know that their marriage is good. But all I can say is that was very inspiring, because they showed that age is nothing but a number.
Absolutely.
Because that is incredible.
And Josh, I don't think you closed your mouth that whole performance.
Correct, Gino. That was incredible. Myself and Danielle here are part of Dare Dance for the Kidney Foundation this year, and I'm taking notes. Like hopefully I'll be able to do one of those lifts in the next 3 months. We'll see.
Yeah, something to see for sure. Absolutely amazing. 3 acts in, and I just want to take a moment to remind you that you guys have a lot of power tonight with that People's Choice Award. That's where you get a say. Every dollar, a vote for your favorite act. You can see on the screens, the QR code, also in your programs. It is a new way to cast those People's Choice vote, and you can do it for all 12 acts. So please keep those donations coming, keep those votes coming in. Simply scan it, pick your donation amount, select your favorite contestant, and in a few simple steps, you're good to go. We will be announcing the People's Choice winner for the top 3 winners at the end of the show as well. Let's get into our 4th act this evening. Daniel Hickson, 64-year-old singer and guitarist, raised in San Antonio, Texas. Daniel moved to Chattanooga in 1986 to marry his best friend. He started his music playing sitting next to his grandmother, who was a piano teacher. He took up the trumpet at age 11 and played it through high school. He taught himself how to play guitar, piano, and harmonica. He loves to share his music with his church family and other venues, including sometimes for the residents at the nursing home where he works as an occupational therapist. He's looking forward to semi-retirement this October. Daniel shared, "I sing and play in order to bring the listener a certain level of joy, some happy memories, and perhaps bring them a little closer to the ones that they love as well." Playing and singing the Eagles classic, "Best of My Love," welcome Daniel Hickson.
I think we've overestimated how tall I am. That's better. Thank you.
Every night I'm lying in bed, holding you close in my dreams, thinking about all the things that we said, coming apart at the seams. We tried to talk it over, but the words come out too rough. But here in my heart, I give you the best of my love. Beautiful faces, loud empty places, look at the way that we live, wasting our time on cheap talk and wine, left us so little to give. That same old crowd was like a cold dark cloud that we could never rise above. But here in my heart, I give you the best of my love. Oh, sweet darling, you get the best of my love. Oh, sweet darling, every night and day, you get the best of my love. I'm going back in time, it's a sweet dream. It was a quiet night, and I would be alright if I could go on sleeping. But every morning I wake up and worry what's gonna happen today. You see it your way, I see it mine, but we both see it slipping away. You know we always had each other, baby. I guess it wasn't enough. Oh, my love. Oh, sweet darling, you get the best of my love. Oh, sweet darling, you get the best of my love. Oh, sweet darling, oh, you get the best of my love, best of my love.
Keep it going for Daniel Hickson. Susan, what are your thoughts on Daniel's performance?
Well, his voice is like butter. Well, the butter, right? The butter. Gorgeous, gorgeous voice. I could listen to that all night.
Absolutely. And Randall, another guitar player, another singer.
That's right, let's have more of it. Let's have more of it.
Keep them coming.
I thought it was great. Something that I've got that the other judges don't have is age. And I love the fact that you picked something from my era. So way to go, way to go.
Absolutely. Wonderful performance. Let's hear it for our judges, too. Thank you guys for coming out this evening. Tonight's fifth act is a little bit different. Brian Skinner is a 60-year-old singer and lip syncer, also a comedian from Ringgold, Georgia. Any Georgians in the house tonight? Round of applause. Absolutely. He's originally from Alabama, but moved to Ringgold in 2009. He serves as the worship pastor at Brainerd Baptist Church. Brian grew up in a musical family and has been doing lip syncing since 1983 when he was part of an a cappella choir at Samford University. He has performed this song for student groups, schools, church events, concerts, and other talent shows ever since. I love to bring joy, laughter, and inspiration to audiences, Brian said. The song? Maybe you remember a little tune by the Beatles called Obla Dee, Obla Da. However, this arrangement is sung by the King Singers out of London, England. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Brian Skinner.
Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is the singer in a band. Molly, 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 Molly. Desmond says to Molly, can I like your face? And Molly says this as she takes him by the hand. Molly says, la la, how the life goes on. Life goes on. No bloody, oh, bloody, life goes on. La la, how the life goes on. Oh, bloody, oh, bloody, life goes on. La la, how the life goes on. Oh, bloody, oh, bloody, life goes on. La la, how the life goes. La la, how the life goes on. Desmond takes a trolley to the jeweler's store, buys a 20-carat golden ring, and a fiver of a man who saw it fall off a lorry. Takes it back to Molly waiting at the door, and as he gives it to her, she begins to sing. La how the life goes, la how the life goes. In a couple of years they have built a home, sweet home. With a couple of kids running in the yard of Desmond and Molly. Desmond and Molly, Desmond and Molly. Happy ever after in the marketplace. Desmond lets the children lend a hand. has a pretty face. And in the evening she still sings it with the band, yes, she still sings. Life goes on. La la, how the life goes on. Obla-dee, obla-da, life goes on. La la, how the life goes. La la, how the life goes. La la, how the life goes on.
Say, Josh, you weren't expecting that.
No, Gino, I don't think any of us were, to be honest with you. And that's what I love about Seniors Got Talent. That's what I love. Great job. Great job.
Randall, who would have thought? You don't even really need to sing. Just put the microphone and mouth the words.
Could somebody explain to me what I just saw? I used to love the Beatles.
Right. Fair enough. You guys have been fantastic this evening. When it comes to acts like that, that's where that People's Choice Award can go a long way. So make sure you scan those QR codes and make those dollars count. All goes to Morning Pointe Foundation. Tonight's sixth act is a jazz singer, 60-year-old Claire Donahue. She spent most of her life in education and the arts and has taught both children and adults using art and music. She moved to Chattanooga 10 years ago and has gotten very involved locally. She started a community parent-teacher association for a disadvantaged elementary school in Chattanooga and is a passionate volunteer and supporter of the McCamey Animal Shelter and the City Shelter as well. She says, "I am happiest when I am helping," and added, "Most of my art and music has been a source of healing for me as much as expression." Claire not only sings but writes her songs as well. Please welcome Claire Donahue, singing one of her original songs that she wrote about leaving her former home and to come to Chattanooga. It's called Sunday in Georgia.
Loaded my car up with my books and music, forgetting warm clothes and sensible shoes, headed for somewhere I could have a garden, sing my own music for once. Love from afar is bittersweet and lonely. No chance of returning home. You didn't come to wipe my tears or hold me. You never could handle goodbye. Started the car. Now I'm driving down the highway, heading nowhere in the night. could have a garden, write my own music for once. I miss the feel of your stubbly cheeks to my lips, your custom cards of music for the road. We never had time to do what others cherished. I promise I'm coming, you're always waiting. I understand why you have to stay. Please understand why I had to go. I had to go. I had to go.
Absolutely. Keep it going for Claire Donahue, everyone. Susan, any thoughts on Claire's voice?
Yes, I would really love to hear her do a duet with Daniel Hickson, who we heard earlier. Can we arrange that?
We should. We should get that going. Danielle, how about you?
I would have to say that Miss Claire is a true artist. She took us somewhere when she was singing, and so I felt everything she sung, and I was enjoying it because that's an artist.
Yeah,
As an artist. So thank you so much for that.
Josh, I know you have a little experience singing yourself. What did you think?
I love when a song like that tells a story and you can see it. Like Danielle was saying, you can see what she was going through and where she went, and she brought us along on that journey. So fantastic job.
Absolutely. One more time for Claire. 6 acts in, we're halfway there. Round of applause for yourselves. You've been wonderful this evening. We're still taking People's Choice Award votes. Make sure you scan that QR code. $1 equals 1 vote. Vote for your favorites up here on the stage. Zipping right along, our 7th act is Agene Parsons, an 87-year-old hammered dulcimer player. She grew up in Memphis and started taking piano lessons at age 5. She lived in the Chattanooga area since about 1976. After marrying and raising 4 children, she had a career as a home care nurse. Agene took up the mountain dulcimer and psaltery at age 62, and then added the hammer dulcimer to her repertoire at age 63. It's her favorite instrument. For a while, she joined a group in Chattanooga called the Hilltoppers. They played at venues including the Signal Mountain Opry, the Snow Hill Bluegrass Jamboree, and the Birchwood Opry. After the Hilltoppers broke up, Agene formed a band called Just Us Gals, which continued to play around the area at the same venues. In 2007, Agene entered a national dulcimer contest at the Smithville, Tennessee Fiddlers Jamboree and ended up getting first place. Agene shared, "I love to see people enjoying the music and expressing to us how much this music means to them. Performing also seems to energize me and leaves me with a great feeling." Playing on the hammered dulcimer, steel guitar rag, let's welcome Agene Parsons. it going for Agene Parsons. Randall, what are your thoughts on Agene's performance?
Well, I thought I played most string instruments, but I guess not.
Right.
That's like flying a helicopter there.
Yes,
Wonderful
Josh.
job. Wonderful job.
Absolutely. I've never seen a dulcimer perform either. Josh?
think I've now seen 3 instruments on stage I've never seen before in my life. So I'm learning tonight. Also from Memphis, I heard. Yes, me too as well. So represent West Tennessee. We love to see it. We love to see it.
As East Tennessee has silenced the And Danielle, what are your thoughts? Have you seen that performance before, that instrument?
I truly love when she said, "Let's party."
Let's party.
Because from there, I said, "Okay, girl.
Here we go.
Let's see what you got." And she brought it. Whatever that instrument is, she brought it. And it was very, very enjoyable to watch because she had a confidence and she had a poise, and I mean, it's just incredible how she handled herself. So I enjoyed it.
I agree. It's always a trick of the trade to say, well, I'll just bring up an instrument that nobody knows how to play, and you guys can't sing anything of it. Susan, what were your thoughts?
I don't know about when she muted the dulcimer, I held my breath. I don't know about anyone else, but she really held our attention during that time because it was so intense and lovely.
Completely agree. Quite the talented cast we have here this evening. Let's move on to act number 8. This is a mother and son duo. 93-year young Iris Whitney and her 71-year-old son Mark Whitney are here. Iris is originally from Bedford County, Tennessee, and has lived at an assisted living community for the last 3 years. Mark has lived in Waco, Texas for the last 35 years and made the trip tonight to be with us and to accompany his mom. Iris has been singing her entire life as a child along with her mother's piano accompaniment. She sang in high school and college choirs and with the Middle Tennessee Choral Society for 18 years. In fact, she majored in voice in college. Iris always thought that God blessed her with a beautiful voice. For his part, Mark has also been involved with music throughout his life. He plays multiple instruments, including piano, flute, guitar, and double bass. He plays the double bass currently in the Waco Symphony Orchestra. Please help us welcome Iris and Mark Whitney performing the classic Gather song, He Touched Me. 93 years old. Let's hear it for Iris. Absolutely incredible. Susan, I can only assume that you agree. What a wonderful performance.
I was looking forward to this one the most. When I saw that it was a mother and son, I'm completely moved. I'm obviously I'm choking up. Obviously her love of music passed on to her son. That was beautiful.
It really was. It was beautiful. Josh, I can only assume you agree?
Oh, absolutely. The high part of Iris's voice, I would love to just put that on repeat and just like have that lull me to sleep. It was just, I have goosebumps and yes, just incredible, incredible. I hope I'm able to sing like that when I'm 93. So, yes.
I think we all wish that we could do something like that at 93. No denying that at all. All right, I think we're ready for act number 9. This is also something a little bit different than we've seen this evening. It's a comedy duo consisting of Robbie Robertson, age 88, and Donna Stetler, age 74. Both are assisted living residents. Donna is from Alabama and Robbie is from Kentucky. Donna got her start in acting in the 4th grade when she played Gretel in Hansel and Gretel. She took theater in high school and acted in many plays as an adult as well. Robbie? Well, he just got his start in acting a couple of months ago. He's a good sport, though, and enjoys playing on words and making people laugh. He served in the U.S. Navy for 4 years, and after his discharging from the military, he was a barber who owned his own barbershop for many years. Please welcome Robbie and Donna.
Bubba, how was your day, honey? How's your arm?
Pretty good, I guess. I saw my physical therapist and told him I broke my arm in 2 places. So he told me to stop going those 2 places.
Well, guess what happened to me today?
What, honey?
This morning I went to the market, and as I was putting the groceries in the car, the wind picked up real big. So I had one hand on my hat and the other hand putting the bags in the trunk. Well, a man walked up behind me and said, "Ma'am, do you realize the wind is blowing up real high?" I said, "I know, but I got to hold on to my hat." And he said, "Well, ma'am, we can see everything." I said, "Well, everything down there is 85 years old. But my hat's brand new."
Oh, man. I have been telling her to quit calling me. She calls me every day. I'm sick and tired and been sick and tired. I don't want to talk to her anymore. I finally quit answering her. I am so tired of her calls.
Well, who is it that's calling you?
I call her spam.
Listen here, Bubba. I've got some bad news. I got pulled over by the police.
You did?
I asked him what in the world I'd done wrong. I wasn't speeding. I didn't cross any lines. He said he pulled me over for texting while driving. And that's a big no-no in this state. Well, I argued with him that I was not texting. I was not. I was just checking my Facebook.
Honey, it's been a long day. Let's go and hit the hay. What do you say, baby?
Oh, honey, you
Oh.
got that right. The older we get, the earlier it gets.
Oh, Mama
made.
Mia. Oh, nighty night, baby.
Oh,
Oh,
night, night, y'all.
oh yeah, nighty night.
Absolutely, keep it going. Robbie and Donna. Danielle, I know you have some thoughts about this one.
I thought I was going to interrupt something at the end. I was like, should I be here? I feel a little uncomfy. But it was, no, I thought the hat joke,
That was great.
that was very original for him to be acting for, what is it, 2 months or 2 days, however long it is.
However long.
He did a fantastic job to get on stage and to do that whole skit and memorize lines. And I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic.
Excellent.
I laughed a little bit. I'm just kidding. I laughed a lot.
And Josh, I know that you've done numerous theatrical performances over your career.
Yes, and stand-up comedy is something I never want to do because that is a whole different level. So a big shout out to them for having that confidence to get up there and make us laugh. We love it. We love it.
Not easy to do, folks. Not easy to do. Let's move on to act number 10. Coming down to the close of the evening. This is 69-year-old singer Vicki Hendricks. Originally from Wildwood, Georgia, Vicki recently moved to Hickson, Tennessee. She's been performing since grade 1. Vicki has performed in several musicals at the Colonnade in Ringgold, Georgia, including The Wizard of Oz and It's a Wonderful Life. More personally, her daughters were blessed to have her sing to them at their bedside while they were growing up, and they also performed during their school years. Her youngest daughter continues to lead worship. Tonight, Vicki will share with us Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue by Crystal Gale. Ladies and gentlemen, Vicki Hendricks.
Don't know when I've been so blue. Don't know what's come over you. You found someone new, and don't it make my brown eyes blue? I'll be fine when you're gone. I'll just cry all night long. Say it is untrue, and don't it make my brown eyes blue? Tell me no secrets, tell me some lies. Give me no reasons, give me alibis. Tell me you love me and don't make me cry. Say anything, but don't say goodbye. Didn't mean to treat you bad. Didn't know just what I had. But honey, now I do. And don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue? Don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue? Ooh. Ooh. Don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue?
Henricks, everyone. Randy, what you think of Vicki?
Well, once again, she's singing from my era, so I appreciate that. And I don't know if the audience will understand this, but if you're going to do Crystal Gale, you got to have longer hair than that. So. Wonderful job, though.
Yes, wonderful job. Susan, what were your thoughts on Vicki's performance?
Oh, I just love it. She's so beautiful. I love the blue dress with the blue song and just singing out. I love the ooze and when she found her voice further on, the deepness of it. I love that.
Very good. Yes, Vicki Henricks, everyone. Remember, absolutely. We're getting close to the end now, so those People's Choice Awards votes are really important. So keep them coming. Again, program, scan that QR code, $1 equals 1 vote. You can vote for your favorites. That money going to Morning Pointe Foundation. It's real simple to do. I promise, do not be afraid of technology. It's a good thing sometimes. Nearing the end of our show, but we are by no means done with the excitement. Something a little bit different this evening. Our 11th act is a magician. Jim Driscoll is here, age 70 years old. Jim and his wife recently moved to Ottawa from Atlanta, where they had their careers and raised their family. Jim is a retired military officer and a PR executive. He also has a background working at radio stations in Georgia and Florida. Jim has been doing magic since age 9, when he did his first performance for a group of 60 adults at a New Year's Eve party. He loves doing magic shows for kids and for hospital patients. He has performed during the Halloween season at Lake Winnie in Rossville, as well as Atlanta Magic Night and many, many more. He's the president of the Chattanooga Magic Club and served as regional vice president of the Society of American Magicians. He's a longtime member of the International Brotherhood of Magicians. Jim says, "I love to make people smile and laugh. It's also thrilling to see the sense of wonder and amazement when the magic fools the audience." Let's get ready to be astounded by magician Jim Driscoll.
I am so excited to be here tonight. I have one job tonight, and that is to make your evening a little more magical. I always like to start with a poem. I want to welcome you to a world of magic and surprise, where amazing things happen right before your very eyes. Sometimes I ask people, do they believe in magic? And they say no. That's when I ask them, where did the handkerchief go? I know. Thank you. A lot of people ask me, what is the inspiration that I have for the magic that I do? The answer might surprise you. I find inspiration in the most commonplace and ordinary objects. I brought one with me tonight to share with you. This is a table. It's nothing special. My wife and I bought it at a garage sale a couple of months ago, just for a few dollars. And it came with this interesting little box. I call it the box of mystery. Ooh, ah. This box and the table sit in a corner of our hallway. And when I walk by, I often look at it and I ask myself the question, what if? What if magic was real? Then I use my imagination. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join me tonight. Let's use our imaginations together. And let's see where our imaginations will take us.
don't care what you say, Josh. I know you didn't expect to see that this evening.
I didn't, Gino, but I love magic. I was hoping there would be audience participation. My hand was going to go up first. But I have always wanted to be a magician. So maybe once TV is done, I am the next Gem. I am the next Gem.
There you go. Danielle, what do you think?
I think 70 is the new 30. He looks fantastic. I don't know how he lifted up that table, sir.
Right.
But that was amazing. And he had this poise and very professional, very comfortable on stage, like very professional. That's the word that came to my mind with him. Very great acts.
I agree. Randall, it wasn't music, but were you entertained?
Well, when it comes to magic, I'm a 66-year-old child. I believe. That table was floating, man.
It was. And Susan, any last thoughts?
There was no strings, I can tell you that. We were 5 feet away, I saw nothing.
Very good. Yes, tricked us from the side as well. Our final act of the evening, and first, before we get to it, let's give yourselves a round of applause for being a wonderful audience this evening. Our final act is another singer. Her name is Susan Taylor, age 63. This is also your last chance, by the way, to vote for the People's Choice Award for Morning Pointe. Originally from Ironton, Ohio, Susan learned to love music from a young age. She and her 7 siblings all learned to sing and harmonize, and they used to perform shows for their neighborhood. Susan took dance classes as a child and became the first black Little Miss Lawrence County. In high school, Susan was a member of the marching band and asked the director if she could teach the band a dance routine. The number went so well that the band went on to perform the routine for the President of the United States. Susan has sung the national anthem at multiple events, including the state capitol. She's been the director of her church's children's choir and has also performed in several plays. She even played Tina Turner in the Wedding Singer play. She says, "I truly love to entertain and bring joy to others." Closing out the show, singing "Try a Little Tenderness" by Otis Redding, please welcome Susan Taylor.
Young girls, they do get weary wearing that same old shaggy dress. Ooh, but ooh, when she gets weary, try a little tenderness. Waiting, just anticipating for the things that she'll never possess. No. Ooh, while she's there waiting, there without that, try a little tenderness. That's all you gotta do now. Listen, it's not just sentimental, no. She has her grief and her care. Oh, baby, yes, she does now. But the soft words that I spoke, so gentle, baby, it makes it easier to bear. Yeah. Oh, she won't regret it, no. Young girls, they won't forget it, 'cause love is their only happiness. Yeah, baby. Ooh, it's so easy. 'Cause All you got to do is try a little tenderness. You got to do the thing that she wants you to do. You got to squeeze and tease, never leave. You got to try a little tenderness. Yeah, try a little tenderness. Come on, baby. Squeeze, tease, never leave. You got to try a little. Yeah, tenderness, baby. Squeeze me, tease me, never leave. You got to.
Standing ovation from you. What do you think?
Yes! I want to be her backup dancer. Oh my! She took us somewhere, and she had this class. She did her shoulders. I said, okay, girl. And I love how confident. I love how she held her voice while she's dancing and strutting in that red dress. Let me tell you, I enjoyed how she had fun. She had a great time. And I had a great time just watching her. And I am going to be her backup dancer.
There you go. Loud and clear. Susan, what do you think?
Well, Chad and Susan, but we just witnessed a star. It was a star.
There it is. Randall, I can only assume you agree.
Wonderful. Love the song. Always have, again, from my era. And the main thing is soul, soul, soul.
Yes.
She brought the soul.
And Josh, any final words?
Just, you got to.
You got
to. That's it. That's all.
One big round of applause for all of the seniors this evening. Unbelievable. Such a wide variety of talent, everything you want out of the showcase. Thank you so much to all of our very talented contestants. Let's give them all one more round of applause. Our judges included. All participating in the 5th annual Morning Pointe Foundation Seniors Got Talent Chattanooga Showcase. Again, I want to remind the audience that the judges are judging each act based on stage presence, technical ability, appearance, creativity, and crowd appeal. And you too have a say. Keep going. That People's Choice Award, very, very important. Last chance to vote. Scan the QR codes on the screens or in your program. $1 equals 1 vote. Select the amount, your favorite contestant, follow the steps, enter that credit card, and all that money goes to Morning Pointe Foundation. Thank you so much in advance for all of your votes. Judges, any final words before we start tallying the scores? Anybody want to say any final words? Not all at once, please.
Putting us on the spot, Gino. Like, we don't have anything else to talk about. I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm so thankful. I moved to Chattanooga 2 years ago, and to see the talent here on the stage tonight, and from previous years, I've seen videos. I'm so excited to see where this goes. I'm sure in years that we'll have 20 acts, and we'll have to do an intermission and 2 whole acts. We saw popcorn in the lobby. Like, it's gonna get bigger. I know it. I know it.
It's just the beginning. Just the beginning. Thank you, judges, for your time. Our Morning Pointe Senior Living Accountants and Business Office Directors will now begin to tally the scores over the next few minutes. We want everybody to be patient. Don't go anywhere. And then we'll announce the top 3 winners. First place, taking home the grand prize of $1,000. Second place will get $500, and third place will receive $250, plus the very highly coveted People's Choice Award voted on by you tonight. $1 equals 1 vote to benefit the work of Morning Pointe Foundation. Let's give our judges another round of applause, as well as this evening's sponsors. Can't do it without our sponsors. While the final scores are being tallied, I want you to turn your attention to the screen for a special video presentation about the work of Morning Pointe Foundation and a word from Morning Pointe Senior Living.
Welcome to a decade of compassion, education, and empowerment. As the Morning Pointe Foundation, the giving arm of Morning Pointe Senior Living, marks 10 years of providing nursing scholarships, caregiver support programs, and free educational aging awareness events across the Southeast.
Thank you. Thank you, Morning Pointe Foundation.
One student at a time, the Morning Pointe Foundation is changing lives. Over 110 scholarships have been handed out since 2014 across the Southeast. Here are two new recipients.
It means I don't have to work as many hours and I can focus more on my schooling and studying and taking advantage of the quality education that I'm getting right now at Columbia State.
Yeah, the amount you are giving to me is going to put me in place till the end of the semester to help me to be in class with my mates, to write exams and to be focused.
Both students can stay in school, focus on their studies, and gain their degrees, thanks to the work of the Morning Pointe Foundation, empowering students, creating a sustainable workforce. Over the last decade, the Morning Pointe Foundation has continued to add more school partners almost every year, starting with Chattanooga State. It now has 17 school partners across the Southeast, and the foundation has seen strong, steady growth in donations, with 2023 contributions exceeding $200,000. The lives touched by the foundation span generations, from supporting young students in their careers to celebrating talented seniors at any of the foundation's 4 biggest fundraisers: Seniors Got Talent in Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Franklin, Tennessee, and Lexington, Kentucky. And let's not forget our 2 annual golf events in Chattanooga and Athens, Tennessee, plus countless other Morning Pointe Foundation fundraisers across the Southeast, plus our momentous free educational awareness events, including past years of Kim Campbell's story, the wife of the late country music legend Glenn Campbell, as she shared their personal Alzheimer's journey. All of the support allows the Morning Pointe Foundation to support more schools and their students.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we pride ourselves on being a school of opportunity, and our partnership with the Morning Pointe Foundation has allowed us to give opportunities to our students that they might not otherwise have through internships and through the generous scholarships provided by the foundation. We have many graduates working at Morning Pointes, not only here in Richmond, but in Lexington and other cities. And we also have organizations from our school who volunteer at the Morning Pointe in Richmond.
The Morning Pointe Foundation school partnership opportunities continue to expand.
My name is Jasmine Haber, and I'm a major at Health Service Administration at EKU.
Jasmine is now considering a career in senior living, thanks in part to her Morning Pointe internship. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, scholars, and thank you, donors.
Thank you, Morning Pointe.
Thank you, Morning Pointe.
As the Morning Pointe Foundation celebrates its 10th year, we look forward to continuing our mission of providing scholarships, caregiver support, and free educational events. Together, we can empower the next generation to make a difference in the aging journey.
I also want to add a big thank you to the accounting professionals, the business office directors from 2 Morning Pointe Senior Living communities who have donated their expertise in overseeing tonight's scoring. Special thanks also to our sponsors listed on the screen and in your program, especially the Diamond sponsor, Trinity Advisors, Russ Blakely and Associates, and Silver sponsors, First Horizon Bank and Patient's Choice Laboratories. And of course, a thank you to our fabulous judges. Yes, round of applause, yes. I hold in my hand the results of tonight. The scores are in, and it's time for the moment that we've all been waiting for to announce our top 3 winners for this year's Morning Pointe Foundation Seniors Got Talent Showcase. Here tonight to help us hand out the awards is Morning Pointe Senior Living co-founders, again, President Greg Vital and CEO Franklin Farrell. Let's hear it for them. They are joined by the Executive Director of the Morning Pointe Foundation, Miranda Perez. Okay, before we announce the top 3 winners, we're going to reveal the People's Choice Award winner. Drum roll, please. Brian Skinner, 60 years old, doing the lip sync of the Beatles, Obladi Obladi. Brian, come on out. Everyone. All right, let's move on now to 3rd place. Oh, by the way, over $500 raised for the votes that went towards Brian Skinner. Over $500, over 1,400 votes came in this evening alone. So thank you, that's you guys. Big round of applause for those donations. All right. Now for the top 3 winners. We'll start off with 3rd place. Drum roll, please. Agene Parsons, hammer dulcimer, age 87. Agene! Our 2nd place winner. Once again, Maestro, please, a drum roll. Richard and Laurie Collett, ballroom dancing, age 76 and 71. All right, here we go. The real moment that we've all been waiting for. Drum roll, please. This year's champion of the 2024 Morning Pointe Foundation Seniors Got Talent Chattanooga Showcase and recipient of the $1,000 cash prize Congratulations to Susan Taylor, singer, 63 years old. Susan, come on out. Congratulations again to Susan Taylor. Susan, real quick. Susan, I know that you're overwhelmed with emotion, of course, but will you give us a little of a thought process here? How you feeling? What's going on?
I'm extremely overjoyed, extremely blessed. God's grace and mercy carries me through every day, and I thank you all so very, very much.
Let's hear it for Susan Taylor, everybody. Congratulations, Susan. Absolutely. What a fantastic show this evening. You guys have been so amazing. Let's have all of our contestants now back out for one final round of applause. All of the contestants, please join us on the stage. Keep it going. We want to hear your excitement. Big round of applause for all of our contestants. We're going to ask the contestants all to take a bow, please, absolutely, for the standing ovation. Thank you all for showcasing your talent. Thank you to the judges, and thank you guys for being our wonderful audience. Thank you all for coming and supporting these talented seniors in the 5th annual Morning Pointe Foundation Seniors Got Talent Chattanooga Showcase to benefit Morning Pointe Foundation in this work providing nursing scholarships and caregiver support programs right here. Thank you to all of our sponsors and Morning Pointe Assisted Living and Memory Care. Thank you to the judges, to all of you for coming out this evening. Until next year, my name's Gino D. Keep celebrating seniors, safe travels, and have a fantastic evening. Thank you.